Hey everyone, welcome back to GMAT Wiz, your go-to podcast for all things GMAT and MBA. I'm Zara.
And I'm Wizton. Today we're diving into something that literally every GMAT test taker thinks about at some point, retaking the GMAT.
Oh my God, yes. We get so many questions about this, like, should I retake? How will schools look at multiple attempts? What about score reporting?
Exactly. And it's totally normal to have these concerns. I mean, we're talking about a test that can significantly impact your MBA journey.
Plus, there's so much confusion out there about how schools view retakes and what strategies actually work when it comes to sending your scores.
That's right. So today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about GMAT retake strategies and the whole score reporting process for your MBA applications.
And trust me, folks, you're going to want to stick around because we've got some real student stories and expert insights that might just change how you think about your GMAT journey. Let's start with the basics of how score reporting actually works, because there's quite a difference between the GMAT and EA tests.
Yeah, and this is super important because your strategy for sending scores can really impact your application process.
So with the GMAT, you've got this 48-hour window after your test to send free score reports to up to 5 schools.
Right. And here's the thing. Once you hit that send button, there's no taking it back. Those schools are going to see those scores, period.
The EA test works a bit differently, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, with EA, you actually have the option to select schools to receive your scores before you even take the test. You know what I find interesting? A lot of test takers feel pressured to use that free score sending window for the GMAT, but sometimes waiting might be the smarter move.
Totally. I mean, saving a few bucks on score sending might not be worth it if you're not completely confident about your performance.
Exactly. It's better to have control over which scores schools see, even if it means paying a little extra later.
You know what really helps illustrate this point? Let me tell you about 2 different test takers we've seen, Sarah and Michael. Their stories show exactly why strategy matters so much.
Oh yeah, these are perfect examples. Tell us about Sarah first.
So Sarah takes her GMAT, scores a 625, and she's so excited that she immediately sends her scores to all her target schools.
Let me guess. She later realized she could do better?
Exactly. 2 months later, after some serious prep, she retakes and gets a 705. But here's the thing. All those schools could now see both scores.
I mean, showing that kind of improvement isn't necessarily bad, but it definitely tells a different story than our other example, Michael.
Michael was way more strategic about it. He scored a 675 first time around but didn't send anything.
Smart move. What happened next?
He took some time to prep properly, retook the test, and knocked it out of the park with a 725. And when he finally submitted his applications, schools only saw that 725.
That's such a cleaner approach. It really shows why being patient with score reporting can pay off.
Totally! Michael had complete control over his narrative. Sometimes that's worth way more than saving a few bucks on free score reports. The best part, he did not spend an additional pie because when he got his 725, he used the free score reporting for that attempt.
The key takeaway here is really about not rushing to judgment, right? Like, take a breath, assess your performance, and then make an informed decision about sending those scores.
Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: the real costs of retaking the GMAT. And I'm not just talking about money here.
Though the money part is definitely significant. We're looking at around $300 per retake. That's not pocket change.
Right? That's actually equivalent to the application fees for 2 MBA programs. When you think about it that way, it really puts things in perspective.
I've seen students blow through over $1,000 on retakes when that money could have gone toward applying to more schools or even investing in better prep resources.
And you know what's even harder to measure? The emotional toll these retakes can take.
Oh man, I've seen this firsthand with our students. Each disappointing result can really chip away at their confidence.
It's like this downward spiral sometimes. They take the test, aren't happy with the score, rush into another attempt without proper preparation, and then feel even worse when they don't see improvement.
And it's heartbreaking when we see talented candidates actually give up on their MBA dreams. Not because they don't have the potential, but because multiple unsuccessful attempts have crushed their self-belief.
This is exactly why we always emphasize the importance of structured preparation between attempts. You can't just keep throwing yourself at the wall and hope something sticks.
Absolutely. The key is having a solid strategy and giving yourself enough time to actually improve between attempts, rather than just racking up test dates.
Now, let's clear up something really important: how business schools actually view multiple GMAT attempts. There's a lot of misinformation out there about this.
You know what's fascinating? Many schools actually encourage retakes in certain situations. Some even specifically tell admitted students to retake the GMAT if they're seeking scholarships.
That's such a crucial point. It really shows that multiple attempts aren't the red flag that many applicants think they are.
Exactly. In fact, when schools see significant improvement between attempts, they often view it quite positively. It demonstrates commitment, resilience, and the ability to learn from experience.
But timing matters, right? There's a big difference between well-spaced attempts showing steady improvement versus, say, taking the test every weekend hoping for a lucky break.
Absolutely. Let me tell you when schools might actually raise their eyebrows. It's usually in cases where candidates are taking the test repeatedly with minimal improvement or with very short intervals between attempts.
Right. Like if someone's taking the test twice in a month with no score improvement, that might suggest they're not approaching the test strategically.
Or it could indicate they're not realistically assessing their abilities or preparing effectively. Schools typically start getting concerned when they see more than 4 to 5 attempts without significant improvement.
The key takeaway here is that it's not about the number of attempts itself. It's about showing meaningful progress and having a strategic approach to improvement.
Exactly. It's all about demonstrating that you can identify your weaknesses, work on them systematically, and show tangible results through score improvement.
So, let's talk about making smart decisions when it comes to GMAT retakes. What's your take on the ideal preparation strategy, Wizton?
Well, from our experience at Wizako, successful retakes always start with one crucial element: giving yourself enough time between attempts. We typically recommend at least 4 to 6 weeks of focused preparation.
That makes so much sense. And it's not just about time, right? It's about how you use that time effectively.
Absolutely. Random practice just doesn't cut it. You need a systematic approach to identify and address your weak areas. That's actually why we developed our GMAT online course at Wizako.
Oh yeah, tell our listeners more about that. I know it was created by some really impressive GMAT scorers.
Right. Our course was developed by tutors who scored 7 and 80 and achieved Q51 on the GMAT. We've built in all the strategies and techniques that helped us succeed.
The key is setting realistic improvement goals based on your current performance. You can't just aim for a 100-point jump without a solid plan.
Exactly. And speaking of solid plans, our course provides structured study paths and expert guidance for every score range. We've seen amazing results when students follow this systematic approach.
And didn't you mention there's a way for our listeners to try it out?
Yes, we're offering a free 15-day trial at wzko.in/pro. It's a great way to experience our structured approach and see if it matches your learning style.
And remember, folks, successful GMAT retakes are all about quality preparation. It's not about cramming or hoping for luck. It's about following a proven strategy.
Absolutely. Take the time to prepare properly, use the right resources, and make each retake count.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today about GMAT retake strategies. Let's wrap up with some key takeaways for our listeners.
Right. First and foremost, don't rush to send your scores. Take time to evaluate your performance and make informed decisions about score reporting.
And remember, schools don't necessarily view multiple attempts negatively. What matters is showing improvement and dedication to excellence.
Exactly. But always consider both the financial and emotional investment of retakes. Each attempt should be backed by proper preparation and a clear strategy.
Speaking of preparation, don't forget about Wizako's comprehensive GMAT online course. It's been a game changer for so many of our students.
And the best part? Our listeners can try it absolutely free for 15 days at wzko.in/pro. It's the perfect way to experience our structured approach to GMAT preparation.
Thanks for tuning in to GMAT Wiz. Until next time, keep studying smart and staying motivated on your GMAT journey.
And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more GMAT and MBA insights. See you next time.